Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraят. Ashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Ruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Om Ajnanatimidandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunvetam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namani. नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्रीमद् भागवतम कैंटो 4 चैप्टर 8 वर्स 34 गुणाधिकान् मुदं लिप्सेद अनुक्रोशं गुणाधमात् Maitrim samanad anvichen tapar abhibhuyate. Very, very important verse. Every man should act like this. When he meets a person more qualified than himself, he should be very pleased. When he meets someone less qualified than himself, he should be compassionate toward him. And when he meets someone equal to himself, he should make friendship with him. In this way, one is never affected by the threefold miseries of this material world. This is the most powerful sutra to transcend the three modes, at least one aspect of it, which is uh, adi bhautik, mm, how we get affected by other people. Adhyatmik, adi bhautik, adi daivik. Adi daivik, we can't do much. Adhyatmik, body and mind to some extent. Mind is again connected to adi bhautik, but other jivas. If we can follow this, we will not get affected by the threefold miseries. Look at this. When we meet a person more qualified, we should be pleased. When we meet a person less qualified, we should be compassionate. When we meet someone equal, we should make friendship. Purport. Now, Prabhupada is saying what our position is. Generally, when we find someone more qualified than ourselves, we become envious. When we find someone less qualified, we deride, meaning we scold him, we whatever, put him down. And when we find someone equal, we become very proud of our activities. And Prabhupada is saying these are the causes of all material tribulations. The great sage Narada therefore advised that a devotee should act perfectly. What is that perfect behavior? Instead of being envious of a more qualified man, one should be jolly to receive him. Instead of being oppressive to a less qualified man, one should be compassionate toward him just to raise him to the proper standard. And when one meets an equal, instead of being proud of one's own activities before him, meaning we will start glorifying ourselves, uh, one should treat him as a friend. One should have compassion for the people in general who are suffering due to forgetfulness of Krishna. These important functions will make one happy within this material world. Hmm? Very, very important, because most of the times we are affected by other people, isn't it? Somehow our own body, it's okay. We'll somehow learn to deal with it. But other people, when we meet more qualified people, we are envious. When we meet less qualified, we are offensive, oppressive. Uh, and when we meet equals, we want to boast about ourselves, just to show to that person that I'm, yeah, we might seem to be equal, but I'm actually better than you. And this is the cause for suffering. Does this make sense? I mean, so when we become envious of somebody, then we forget Krishna. When we become oppressive of somebody, then we forget Krishna. When we become proud of our own activities, we forget Krishna. That's why Prabhupada is saying, uh, we, anyway, I mean, here he is specifically saying we should have compassion for everybody who is suffering due to forgetfulness. Um, and this qualified, if you look at it from a material perspective, then everybody is less qualified compared to a person who is in Krishna consciousness. So from that perspective, a person in Krishna consciousness should show compassion to everybody, irrespective of this. Mm. But when we apply this on the spiritual platform, then absolutely we should be pleased with more advanced devotees. Those dependent on us, we should be compassionate. Or those who are in uh, behind us in terms of devotional advancement and equal, we should make friendship. Actually, we should dadati pratigranati. So if we live like this, we will not get affected by the threefold miseries. Hmm. Dhruva vacha. So far Narada has advised. Dhruva saying, why all this? It's not, you're anyway a small child, and why are you worried about all this? Just go and play. Mm, And it's not the age to be affected by these things. You're still young. And when the time comes, you can do all these austerities. It's not easy to get Supreme Lord. Then he's saying, yeah, you interacted with somebody who was less qualified than you. Just be compassionate towards them. Why are you becoming envious and saying, I want to achieve something? So Narada Muni is testing his disciple. He's testing. Why is he testing? We discussed this. Guru has to test the disciple before initiating him. Hmm? What is the qualification required of a devotee who goes to a guru? What should be the qualification? Why should one go to a guru? Why should one get initiated? Yeah, anybody? Why should one get initiated? What is the need for initiation? Why should one go to a guru?
To take guidance, Prabhu, and to
Hmm.
fully surrender to Guru, and
Very nice.
whatever he says, it
Yeah.
has to be taken as it is.
Yeah, as it is. Yes, very nice. Thank you, Brother Prabhu. Yeah, anybody else?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Because he knows everything. He knows the
everything.
spiritual world, and he knows like he's the Dakshani, like he's
Daksha.
Dasani. So like Prabhu, so and even when we see like we need a teacher in our life day to day. Like even to understand the book, we need somebody to preach. And how do we understand this thing if there is no spiritual master? Right from Brahma to us, there is always been a spiritual master. So we need guidance. We need proper guidance. Prabhu, one question just in between. You just mentioned now that the guru has to know, like what he has to know his disciples.
Yeah.
Prabhu, like if it comes to that stage, I mean, none of us can become disciples. Prabhu, sometimes even we've seen like there's no qualification. Still, the guru accepts.
It's not about qualification. It's about knowing the disciple. We are all not qualified at all, right?
That's exactly.
The guru has to know what is the fallen state of the disciple, right? Actually, in previously, the gurus used to test. So one of the answers I wanted to hear was, Diksha is for somebody who is decided that the goal of my life is Krishna. Only for them. Diksha is meant only for such people, not for any other reason, right? So actually Guru has to test, however unqualified the disciple is, Whether he really wants, see, now actually, if you look at it, Dhruva was in a fallen state because he was actually looking for personal achievement, right? No, but Narada Muni did not mind that because he came to Vishnu, right? So, but he's testing to see how determined he is to even do that, whatever he wanted to achieve, because he's going to give him the path of bhakti. So he's testing. He's testing the disciple. Are you sure? Are you determined enough to go on this path? Okay. Then he initiates him.
Just to, I'm not refuting what you're saying, but Prabhu, when we initially come to when we initially go to a guru, we go with some sense gratification, this thing, or to find how spiritual life is. Before coming to ISKCON, we didn't know that there is a way to go back. The only thing we know was Swarga, enjoy up to that, So, jitne bhi gurus milte hain, none of them teach you this, none of them preach you this also. So how exactly it is?
But see, which is the whole reason why we call Srila Prabhupada as our preeminent Shiksha Guru, isn't it? So when we come into Krishna consciousness, the first thing we expect devotees to do is to read or hear from Prabhupada, right? And if you read, actually, if you hear even more, at least in reading Prabhupada's books, at least maybe sometimes the clarity might not come. But when you hear Prabhupada's lectures, he's so much hammering that one should give up sense gratification. Now, if you have actually heard and then gone to a guru, then we know that okay, guru is also saying the same thing. Unfortunately, this is the process of initiation is where the question actually arises, right? So, which is why I keep highlighting this fact that whoever is recommending people to be initiated by a guru now take up that responsibility as, yeah, guru has more number of disciples, etc. Then obviously, so there are only two considerations. For example, see, when Srila Prabhupada in the initial days, when he just went to the West, right? Now he initiated people who are just one day in Krishna consciousness, right? And then he said, yeah, it was an emergency. It was an emergency because Krishna consciousness had to spread, and to spread Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada said, I was taking risk by initiating these people who are absolutely not qualified. And Prabhupada knew about it. Prabhupada knew that many among them will also fall. But knowingly, he initiated people because it was a risk that he was taking for spreading the Hare Krishna movement. So sometimes, for example, we see some sannyasis, gurus, they go to some remote places, or they're trying to start a devotee society in some new place. Sometimes initially, the initial devotees who actually get initiated or whom the guru initiates might not be very highly qualified, because that is the risk the guru is taking. But then as things become more and more stable, the idea is that things have to become more stricter. Actually, Prabhupada did this. Actually, eventually, then he used to become very strict about initiations, Brahmin initiation, and all this. So many rules were put into place. Initially, deity worship, anything and everything was allowed to be done. So slowly, steadily, because he said, initial days they were all very weak children. Now I can't. If I put too many things on them, then they're going to crumble. So he kept the focus, which is to spread Krishna consciousness, but he didn't emphasize much on any other thing. But as days passed by, he became stricter. He became more and more strict. So see, otherwise, this whole thing becomes like a joke. Why would somebody who is wanting sense gratification come to a guru? He should go and find sense gratification outside. What will a guru do? Will a guru give sense gratification? Guru cannot give sense gratification, right? Guru can give Krishna. That is why the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this one is a Diksha Kale Bhakta Kare Atma Samarpan. What is that Atma Samarpan? Atma Samarpan doesn't mean sense gratification. Atma Samarpan means giving up sense gratification. And Chaitanya Charitamrita is saying Diksha Kale Bhakta Kare Atma Samarpan. Bhakta has to do Atma Samarpan at the time of initiation, Diksha Kale. Now, unfortunately, these things are not talked about in ISKCON. This is the whole problem. And when we are initiating, when we are recommending people for initiation, also we are concerned about other things which are not as important. Some people are concerned about how many devotees are being recommended from my side. My name has to be there. So many, La Puja Pratishtha things. Right, but it's actually not in the interest of the person who is actually going to get initiated, because he very, innocently is just coming to some of us and saying, okay, please, help me. And then whatever we say is what they understand, because yeah, unfortunately, not everybody reads Prabhupada's books. If they read Prabhupada's books, then they know what the standards are. And when they come to us, and when we don't tell them the right thing, then we are doing big disservice to Prabhupada's movement. Big disservice. And unfortunately, I can be speaking about this for all of my life. It's not going to change, because it's just become like part of our life now. Saying that it's okay, how much ever they can, they will do. But the guru is supposed to see, the whole thing here is guru trusts his disciples who are recommending, his senior disciples, etc., who are recommending, right? So he is just trusting. And if the people who are recommending, if we are misusing the trust of the guru, it's literally cheating, right? So we have to be very, very careful. It's a big responsibility. And yeah, that is the reason why there is a interview. We also do some interview, right? That interview is the test actually, which actually guru has now given that responsibility of the testing business to his representative. So we should have the strictness to say, okay, this person doesn't understand certain aspects of Krishna consciousness, so we will not recommend them now. But at the same time, we'll give them training. It's not that we are rejecting anybody. We'll train them. We'll give them the clear understanding. Then again, we'll test them. Again, if they fail, again we will give them an opportunity. This can go on forever till the person understands and actually comes to the next stage. And when he is able to understand all aspects of Krishna consciousness as much as required, it's not that we don't expect pandits, we don't expect scholars, but we want people to understand. And when we are confident saying that, okay, this person understands Krishna consciousness, he understands the goal of life is to please Krishna, achieve Krishna. Sense gratification is not the goal of life. And that he also understands that he has all these anarthas, and that he's going to work hard by chanting, by engaging in service, by doing proper sadhana. He's going to try and overcome or give up all these anarthas. Then we say, okay, he's right because he's sincere and serious about bhakti. That is the time when a person has to get initiated. That is the time. Not that, okay, oh, okay, come, okay, you're doing 1 round, somehow chant 4 rounds, somehow 8 rounds, somehow 6. Okay, 16 rounds, okay, now take Guru Ashaya, okay, done. No, that's not the process. Unfortunately, that has become the process, but that's not the process. Process is to actually test, train, test, train, test. Train the person, test the person. Train the person, test the person. Then when we think that, okay, this person is now ready, then yeah, then that person can go and get initiated from any guru of his liking, his connection, whose Vani appeals, whose Vani connects, whose Vani moves. And whose Vani gives him the confidence saying, yes, this person is going to take me back home, back to Godhead. Because I'm going to surrender to him. I'm going to follow everything that he says. Okay, now you're ready. And Narada Muni is doing that. Such a young boy. See, Narada Muni did not allow even a 5-year-old boy no benefit of doubt. He's clearly discouraging him. Clearly discouraging him. Yeah. Sumantra Mataji.
Hare Krishna, not Sumantara. I am here.
Yeah,
Pranam. Hare Krishna. Prabhu, here one or two questions for the Diksha I am asking. Like some, not to me, generally you can say. Generally you can say that suppose some comes can do anybody for initiation signature. Like Brahman initiation, you take one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like some gurus has a paper writing and philosophy questions.
Mm.
So
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, I'm not able to hear you.
yeah. No, so when they come, then it is said, okay, my guru, I will say, you write philosophy paper or something like that way. Then they say, my guru has no like system. Only just you recommend only. Recommendation is there.
Mm-hmm.
So, and if it does not give, okay, Prabhu, no, our system is there, no, you are, then people start tagging. Okay, he has other gurus, disciple, for that purpose, he does not want to give.
Yeah.
Likewise, this situation, first initiation and second both where is there actually.
Yes. Yeah,
So
actually,
what to do in that case, actually, I'm asking you. Because actually, another biggest point is that whoever recommending, he's also taking karma, not only guru, actually.
Correct.
If an unqualified person is recommended by somebody, so he's also taking karma.
Yes.
So
So two things actually. One is, of course, see, it's again, it becomes a question of practical. What is practical also, right? In the sense that, which is why those people who, for example, so now there are two levels, right? Anukul Prabhu is speaking about another challenge. One is there is a guru, and then guru has given the responsibility of, say, recommending anybody who wants to get initiated from that guru to certain disciples, right? Who are expected to be at the right qualification, right level of qualification, and whom the guru trusts, right? Saying that, okay, if this person is recommending, I trust this person. So this is a matter of trust. So which means that the person who is actually standing there and making recommendations should actually understand the responsible position that he or she is taking, number one. And that awareness has to be there. That person has to be so mature, number one. Number two, when it comes to say a temple president who has to recommend now, and the complexity is when there are multiple gurus, and different gurus have their own processes for evaluating their disciples or prospective disciples, and that responsibility has been given completely to those representatives, so-called representatives. So first thing is, for somebody like a temple president, he has to know, he has to have faith and trust in the person of against whose recommendation he is signing. He has to have trust in that person. Now, how will that trust develop? That trust will develop by actual seeing that devotee in his own practice of Krishna consciousness, his own approach to initiation, and conceptually knowing some of these things about that person, about that devotee who is recommending. And maybe even you see the understanding that, suppose I am recommending some devotees, my understanding of concepts of things about Krishna consciousness will automatically reflect in the people I am recommending, because if I believe something, I will transfer that belief to the people who are hearing from me, or etc., right? Now, so what for somebody like a temple president is to actually now in his own way test the people who are recommending, not the eventual devotees, because it won't be practical if there are like so many devotees who are getting initiated on an ongoing basis. And if it's a progressive temple, then temple president will not have time to go and interview each and every person. So obviously he will have to trust, but this trust cannot be blind. The trust cannot be just saying that, Prabhu kar dijiye na, not this kind of thing, right? So he has to have confidence in the person who is recommending. How? By building that confidence by questioning, informally, by understanding that person stands on various aspects of bhakti, etc. By also, and I mean, for a person like a temple president, it's also about understanding those gurus and what they expect, and making sure that the representative of that guru is actually even living up to those expectations. So it's a big responsibility. I mean, I understand it's a very, very big responsibility. So multiple things have to be managed here. And also officially, for example, officially, it might also, I don't know how practical these things are, but from the initiating gurus themselves or their offices or whatever, right? Making it clear about a process that they want to follow, and ensuring that, okay, the representative who is there locally is actually following that process. So some checks and balances can be put. That's what I'm trying to say. Some checks and balances can be put on this evaluation process, because it's not practical to go and evaluate everybody. So mostly it's evaluate the evaluator kind of checks and balances, so that the temple president is comfortable with the decisions. And there can be, like I said, checks and balances. For example, if there is some profile, right, some basic profile should be submitted before initiation, then there should be some process to at least just see, okay, basic minimum standards, okay, for how many, when was the Guru Ashraya done, or if there is a Guru Ashraya process, and is it at least 6 to 12 months after Guru Ashraya, or for how many years have they been chanting 16 rounds? What are their practices? Some at least general things can be cross verified, or like that's why I said checks and balances, for which maybe, somebody like Anukul Prabhu might require a team of neutral people, who will generally, support team kinds, who will go through the recommendations, ask questions, if any, like that. But yes, it's a responsibility. And if if not qualified disciples are recommended, the person who is recommended will also take some of that karma. Guru absolutely takes the karma, because Shastra says the Guru should not initiate unqualified disciples at all. So which means then it's also important to understand what the Guru's thought process is about who is unqualified, right? Or who is a absolute no-no. What kind of devotees would that Guru not want to initiate? So that can also be the other approach, saying that at least as temple president, you can make sure that these totally unqualified people, as per that Guru, are not being recommended. So some of these things can be thought of, Prabhu, and some process can be kind of put in place, but it requires direct interaction with possibly the guru or their initiation office, if there is something like that. Every guru, I guess, will have some senior disciples who are actually who will be final accepting recommendations, etc. So after talking to those people, some process can be put in place, so that the whole idea is what is practically possible. Is there some attempt that has been done in that direction? And then Krishna will be pleased. Okay, effort has been made. It's sincere. Okay, there will be mistakes out of 100, maybe, like in a manufacturing unit. Some errors will happen, but that's okay. That we can't avoid. We can't be 100%, but at least certain meaningful steps are being taken to make sure that unqualified people are not being recommended. But it requires a lot more thought. But I'm just, whatever came to my mind, I shared, like something.
Yes, Prabhuji, it is a very, as you say, it is a very difficult situation sometimes. Like I can tell you two incidents actually. First initiation and one second initiation. One second initiation came, my Guru Maharaj is from Bhakti Shastri Katrariya now. So he is a disciple of other Guru, and he was wanted second initiation, and that Guru is not at planet. So he came for recommendation. I said, okay, I can recommend you as per my Guru message that he'll for after your Guru departed, will recommend, he will give initiation, second initiation to everybody whoever wants. I said, but criteria is that the office won't give. Then I put his name that he didn't get. He said, okay, you finish fast your Bhakti Shastri and take it. But he didn't, from JPS always didn't get.
Yeah.
He rejected. He went to other Guru and took it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
And
this is
he's
why.
coming and telling me, Prabhuji, you not got me, but I got from somebody else.
Yeah, so that is the reason I was telling Prabhu. So those gurus, right, whoever, of course, I mean, yeah, so many initiating gurus,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
at least some understanding of a clear process has to be there from each guru's side. Like if suppose say you tell me, then I'll tell you, Prabhu, these are the senior disciples of His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Maharaj, on who's who are the final who will take the decisions, etc. Then one conversation can happen from them, where you can ask them, saying that give us some things that we should basically evaluate at least to make sure that wrong recommendations are not coming from our temple side for Maharaj. Then they might say, okay, these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. Then that something then that can be discussed with the with the representatives of that Maharaj to make sure that these things are absolutely being followed as a process if it is not already being done. So it is effort. It will require focus and team and time to be able to do that if we want to do it pakka. If we do want to create a system that will make sure that as ISKCON Sheshadripuram temple president is completely confident saying that, you know, whatever recommendations are going from my side are all pakka. System can be built. A process
Okay.
can be built.
Yes, bro. Another one for first initiation.
Yeah.
Somebody comes, I said, okay, he's qualified everything.
Hmm.
But I comes to know he's a wife beater.
Wow,
I
he beats wife. Okay.
I tell them, okay, you give me writing, you won't beat your wife for further actually. I can recommend your case to your guru. He does not say, and he goes to from his guru by somewhere other temple president, he takes an initiation and takes initiation.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, that whoever is finally recommending somebody like that, he will have to take that deal with that karma. Anyway, see, for you, from your perspective, you said no, which is right. He went and took somebody somewhere else. That's his problem. Then it's a problem of whoever recommended him wherever. Then it's obviously that question with the guru who accepted whether he knew about it, did not know about it. So many things will come. But
And
at least from
eventually what happened, he shifted to America from Bangalore and he started beating his wife and that wife filed case, they got divorced.
yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah.
But
So from your perspective, at least you were right in saying, "Nay, yeah, I can't recommend." That's okay.
it's right like somebody's, I know if he's a wife beater or something like that, okay, he should not be recommended for that.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, at least become a human being. No,
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not even a human being, how can you become initiated disciple of a guru? You're
Yeah.
supposed to you're supposed to be moving towards becoming a sadhu, right?
Because sometimes people start talking, you are interfering in their personal
No,
life.
no, no,
I
no, no.
don't
The
like
people,
that way, actually.
Anukul Prabhu, like, you know, like my Guru Maharaj says, if you do something good, also people will talk about bad about you. If you do something
Yeah,
otherwise, also people's job is to talk about others, right? So I think, you know, in a society like ISKCON, if we worry about what people are saying
no,
about
no,
us,
no.
then there is no way we will not exist at all.
If you do something, then only people will talk, otherwise nobody will talk.
Yeah, yeah. So if we don't do, yeah, everybody will say, okay, I can do anything I want under him,
Yeah.
which is not good at all. Just
Yes.
because, you know, we want to avoid some confrontation or somebody saying that I'm not good. We are not sitting here
Yes.
to be crowned good. We are
Yes,
sitting
brother.
here to make sure that we are doing the right things in the
Right,
service
right.
of Guru and Krishna, right? So yeah, some things some people will like, something some people will not like.
Thank
Right.
you, brother. Thank you, brother.
I openly tell people saying that, you know, people felt my preaching was so heavy that, you know, I know many times when I was not given class to speak, I said, I don't care. I'm not here
He
to,
also told me so many times, preaching is heavy. I said, yes, I know. His
yeah,
preaching is heavy. For that way only you like his classes.
no,
Otherwise,
but
if preaching would have short, she would have not liked your classes actually.
no, I mean, whether somebody likes, which is why, you know, yeah, maybe somebody on the internet will have 2,000 people hearing for maybe, yeah, my
Or
class, maybe
rather
10
like
people
that.
will hear. For me, it doesn't matter because I know that what I'm doing is right. Right. So the thing is, you know, if we are worried saying that, okay, somebody is not accepting me, you know, because I'm like this, it will become a big challenge because we'll never be able to stick to what we should be sticking to, isn't it?
Yes, brother.
So, yeah, temple president, I know, I mean, a small center response to itself, I know so many complications, but my Guru Maharaj actually has told me on Sutra, which I try to implement. He says, keep it simple. He says, keep things simple. This is his advice, right? And I've been trying to put that in practice. Keep things simple means keep things open and straightforward. Meaning, what I do if two people are come and talk to me about each other, so one person said something about the other person came and told something about this person. What I do, I bring both of them together and say, now you tell me.
Yeah, that is
Now
the
both
best
of you
way.
tell me. Both of you now tell me whatever it is. Now let's see if you can actually, is it real? You know, why is this happening? Then automatically they will only realize, oh, what is this, you know? And then, you know, they may just So I'm just keeping it simple, because if I now talk to these two people separately, it's not going to help. Right? Because I will tell this person will just say something about that person. I will go and talk to that person. Now I don't know who is right, who is wrong. There's no way to evaluate, right? So simple
Yes,
thing is just come. Please come, both of you come. You seem to have some challenges. Let's resolve it. So we have to keep it simple. Otherwise, these people want to make everything complicated. Everything complicated. So I mean, it's of no use. We become, that's why that Vaishnava K, right? Duplicity, Kutinati. This is Kutinati. Everybody is like, in the previous verse we saw everybody is envious about the other person. Somehow I have to pull him down. I have to put myself better. People should think that I am better. He is not a good devotee. I mean, so many useless, trivial things which are going to just bind us in this material world. But people want to do this because that's the conditioned state of devotees now. We can't let them go. We can't let them continue what they're doing also.
But
So,
probably here one question comes. We should not let them go because of Krishna consciousness. Some small things actually, like that way. You
yeah,
feel
but
that
if
way?
somebody is spoiling,
Uh,
then we have to take it. We can't see, this is one of the things, right? If somebody is spreading poison,
yes, probably.
we don't want such people around,
Right.
because tomorrow it is going to become poisonous society. Everybody will become poison. Then what will happen? That poison will affect us also eventually, right? Because we let
Yes.
it happen. So my policy that I follow is, if somebody is innocent or somebody is naive or somebody is just okay, just childish, and they're doing these things, I will give them space. I will give them time. I'll let them, make them understand, saying that this is not right, etc. Fix yourself. Even after that, if I see they're spreading poison, meaning talking about this person to a third person, again to another person, because he has envy about one person. Now 10 people know about something which didn't happen at all, right? Then I will take action. Because that is not in the, it's actually in the interest of the society, as well as the interest of that individual who is going down to hell, because he's now offending Vaishnavas and going about, he's going to go to hell,
Yes,
right?
probably.
And we had a situation like that, and I told that devotee, saying that you are doing Vaishnava aparadh, you are going to get into trouble. He didn't listen to me. He again continued to offend. Then Krishna pulled him out. Krishna showed him Krishna, and he is still suffering because of the offenses that he has done to devotees. No, but if we don't tell, they will never be able to understand. And that this devotee was so, what should we say? I mean, like, crazy, really. I mean, he told me, don't interfere in my dealings. Don't bother my life. Don't come and bother me like this. So I said, see, I'm happy. I'm not here to bother anybody, right? If you want to take the right direction, if your direction is towards Krishna, I can show you the path. If your direction is something else, please, you deal with it. I will leave it to Krishna. And I just pray to Krishna, saying, Krishna, please, you are only have to take care. Krishna took care of the devotee in the way he knows is right, right? But if we, as if we keep quiet, worrying, saying that, oh, no, 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 if I say this, then so many people came and asked me about this incident, saying that, Prabhu, ye ho gaya, what happened? Why this, that? I said, see, I don't think, if it is important, I would have come and told all of you, right? Now it's not important. Something has happened, something not good has happened, and I'm still open. If that person comes and apologizes and is ready to understand what his mistake was, I'm happy to have him back. But he didn't come because he had too much of false ego. And then everybody else came and recommended, saying, then please do, please do, please do. I said, see, I'm ready to do, but I'm also respecting his own word, where he told me, saying that don't bother me. So I'm not bothering him. All right. I'm waiting for him to come back and tell me whatever he wants to sell, and I'm happy to hear. I don't have any envy against him. But ये सब हम अगर if we are always concerned about, okay, people will question me, people will, then if I say this, somebody will be unhappy. If I say this, somebody will be unhappy. I have to keep everybody happy. That is possible only for Krishna. Only Krishna can keep everybody happy. We can't keep everybody happy, and that's the difficult role of being in a leadership position, is that we have to do the right things, and people have to be made, we have to make people understand, saying that, see, I am here standing to do, this is my philosophy, this is my approach. Okay, if you, I tell all my team also, see, if you don't want me to be here, I'm happy to go. I'm not standing here because I want this. I am just here coming here to serve. If any of you think that I'm not doing the right things, I'm not capable enough, please tell me. I'm happy to go. I'll tell somebody else will come and take over, right? Because I'm not attached to that position. So if when we are not attached to position, we just try to do whatever is right. As a representative of Sampradaya, as a representative of Vaishnavas, as a representative of Prabhupada, we should do the right things. We should not do things to please anybody, because that's going to just ruin everything. That Prabhupada told so many times, I have not come here to please anybody. I have come here to give what you people didn't have, what you fools and rascals. I mean, of course, we don't have to use those words, but whole point is that he didn't compromise. He just didn't compromise on anything. He said, this is what my guru has told me. This is it. That's it. And of course, he had his very nice way of dealing with devotees, which was amazing thing about Prabhupada. Just his charisma, his purity, his Krishna consciousness would do the magic. But absolutely, this thing that my Guru Maharaj told me, saying that keep things simple, and we're not here to please anybody. We are here to please Prabhupada. That's those two are the guiding force for at least whatever I try to do to whatever little extent. Of course, Anukul Prabhu is dealing with 100 times more complexity than I am. But yeah, at least that's my thought process. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Sorry that I took a lot of time today.
No, Prabhu. Actually, yeah. I mean, yes, Anukul Prabhu is so senior that he doesn't feel. If I'm sitting and saying something, he's willing to hear. That that itself is a quality that we all have to develop, I think.
Because there was a subject you were talking, so I thought, okay, whatever in my mind is let me ask.
Yeah. It's
Thank
okay.
you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Sorry, Prabhu, he always hijacks the class. I missed
Hey,
part of
Mataji,
it
he
today.
hardly hijacks, Mataji. No, it's okay. And he's happy getting hijacked. No problem. It'll all something that we'll learn. Okay, so we'll stop here. If anybody has any other questions, I think a lot of devotees get enlightened about these topics, which they are not generally privy to, right? We don't talk about these things, complexities, and this will obviously also make the devotees also think, saying that whether what they're doing is right, etc., etc. So I think it's very good for all of us to hear this. Yeah. Okay. Anybody else has anything to say? Otherwise, we can close for today. Okay. Close. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhyo Patitana Bhavane. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.